Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. Disability Upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicate Amusements products. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
Well, Stephen, we're here once again. Hopefully everything's working okay.
Can you guys hear us? We have to ask that every time now.
We do.
We were talking just before the show, and I said, Glenn, if you had a job in TV, you'd be fired. I would too, probably, because I don't know anything about it. But I'd be like, oh, man, cool. We can hear both. It works. It's a science now.
It's a miracle.
It's a
miracle. 103 episodes. We're finally getting there.
Yeah, that's right. We got it down. So TGIF, everybody. So why don't we start off in welcoming our fine community in the chat? How's that?
Go for it, Stephen. Let's welcome everyone.
Right. We got Jason. Now, also some of the folks, you can see the little wrench in the chat. That means they've become an op for us. We're expecting a big turnout next week. So these guys are going to be our, I guess in the old days, they called them sysops or whatever, chat moderators. So anyways, we got Jason, Pliskin's Run, JLS Gaming down in Florida. We've got Video Game Vegas, which was an old guest. Not old guest, but a previous guest. We got Hobby Hands. We've got me in there, Meatball Saucy. That's new. That person's new, I think.
Meatball Saucy's been here before. Of course he has.
103 episode.
You got Alzheimer's, man. It's kicking in on you, buddy.
The old timers disease for sure.
Yeah, old timers. Old timers.
That's right. And then we got Adam. Who else we got? Darth Penguin 66, Green Sammy 87, Epkus, Stephen M. Triumph or Die, Chris Ford, John Puglia. Puglia. Yeah, okay. I just sounds weird saying that. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Who else we got here? Sean, my cousin. So let's see here. We keep going down. Brad Underwood, welcome. Biggie D's Arcade. Paul, of course. Paul is like Norm from Cheers, you know? He sits in a chair and we know where he sits. Welcome. Gamer Fridge. That's the first time I hear a nickname like that. Cool. To Take the Time, welcome. And Keith, my buddy Keith. Stinger Films, JJ. Kryptonite, not Dynamite like JJ from What's Happening. Anyways, it's too old, dating myself. Vet 1981, Rich Waldo, and let's see, who else we got here? Jesus, your English is worse than your French. Shut up, Sean. Carl O, Iceman, and that's it. That's all we got.
All right.
So we got my cousin in here making fun of me. I'll drive down there and So what do we got on the agenda, my friend? What do we got tonight?
Well, so much is going on right now. First, I want to thank everyone, as usual, for joining us here. Oh, I got the wrong camera up here, too. It's still a bit of a mess. Let's fix this over here first. Hold on, Stephen. Let's go over here.
We got double Glenn. We got side profile Glenn and front-facing Glenn.
There we go. That's what I was trying to bring up there.
I think people prefer the two arcade machines than the side profile of you, right?
I think so.
I mean, just saying.
So,
you know, I didn't see any girls in the chat, so you're out of luck to be selling yourself. You know,
I probably chased them away with last week's ones.
They don't like a guy that turned how old? 55.
55. Yeah, turning them away now. 55.
Wow. Feel to be 55. Sorry.
Well, it's every time I drive on the highway, it reminds me of my age. 55.
Yeah, can't drive.
That's what we have
55.
over here. Can't drive 55. I won't do it. So I do want to make one announcement. Next week we are going to have New Wave Toys on the show for a couple of announcements and some giveaways.
The whole company?
Yeah, the whole company. Shiloh. It's the whole company.
That's what I mean. Everybody expecting the staff and everybody to show up.
So I've elevated a couple people to be moderators for us. We've never had our own moderators before, but this is the very first episode where we have some moderators. We have our local AI, Jason, who has been a great moderator for so many other channels, so he's helping us out here. We have Adam Caleb, we have Glenn Baisley, and JLS Gaming. These four gentlemen agreed, maybe begrudgingly, but they did agree to be moderators for us. I agree.
Thinking? What'd you do, bribe them or?
No, they're just good friends. just good people like everyone else have here. So I just think next week's could be kind of pandemonium. So much going on. I'm still trying to get my couple things here working for next week, which of course is not. I'm trying to test it in this show, which is why I keep looking over here. Test some stuff for next
week. So the little
week.
wrench beside their name in the chat, that means they can take their wrench and slap you on the fingers with the wrench if you're misbehaving in the chat. So let's keep it above board, you know? Oh, Colombian necktie has come.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
So a big thank you to them for volunteering to help us out next week. It could be a typical show, or it could be a show with so many people in the chat we're not going to know what to do with ourselves, to be quite honest. So one of the things that we're bringing them on for is they have an announcement coming up. And there's been a lot of speculation. New Wave Toys posted this yesterday. So it's been a heck of a week. So this was posted.
I know what that is.
I know you do.
It's a bench when you go to the toilet and you put your feet on there.
To keep your feet warm.
That raises your knees up off the floor or whatever. So Glenn's getting into a whole new business. He's ditching the arcade business and going to the person.
So Michael,
never mind.
Michael B, the Game Genie, was having just a bro chat, which turned into an actual show where they were talking about at games and their 4K pinball and this and P-Dubs. It was Console Kits. Now it's just JR, I believe. We just call him JR now. Michael B, the Game Genie, P-Dubs, P-Dubs Arcade Loft are all speculating on what this is. So I'm going to put out to the chat if anyone thinks they have any idea, because it'll be revealed next Friday. So 1 week from today, Shiloh will be here to talk about what this is, but also we should hit our 5,000 subscribers on the official New Wave Toys fan page. And that will be a
what are we
kickoff.
up to now? Or what are you guys up to now?
We're at
number?
4,000. Last time I checked this morning, 4,897. There's 103 more to go, which I think we could do that in this week.
Should be all right.
But even if we don't, we're going to do it next week regardless. It'll be 5,000 regardless next Friday. And
so Jay says it's a toilet recliner.
It could be. It could be your feet. But you have to be in the live chat to win. If you're not in the live chat, and obviously we won't call you out because we're going to be doing it from the live chat, and we will then verify from the live chat that you are subscribed to the New Wave Toys fan page. If you are, you're going to win. Now, originally, it was just going to be the very last Berserk Frenzy twin pack, but Shiloh, being Shiloh, is kicking it up a few notches. He's bringing more giveaways. So you definitely want to be at the show, 8 o'clock, or actually 7:55. Make sure you're here bright and early. And we'll be doing giveaways throughout the show. And, of course, the big one will actually be the New Wave Toys. Now, it's funny. Here's Stringer Films, and I will stop talking. There was a big thing yesterday where P-Dub's like, you got to stop reading Super Chats when you're talking. It's interrupting the flow. Michael B. and I agree. If someone does a Super Chat, we're going to stop and read it.
Yeah.
So right now, Stringer Films, $2 Super Chat, thank you. It's a box containing a fix to the 4K pinball light problem. Maybe, but there are some other speculations, which I'll bring up in a minute. First, let's see if anyone else has
now.
any more guesses here.
Little bench that you put your feet on when you go to church. How's that? Not the pewter, but you know.
Oh, John, I will put another link down in the chat. It is operational. So another thing is that the GRS Viper Switcher board for the iiRcade. Let me get this thing out of the screen for a second. I have too many things on my screen now, Stephen, you know? So, get out of here.
Get the toilet bench out of the way there.
Yeah, I got so many things I got to get out of the screen here. Boom. There we go. So the GRS Viper Switcher board is available now. I'll put a link to it right now. It can be ordered. I'll put it over here if anyone wants to purchase it. And the GRS Viper will be on sale either tonight or first thing tomorrow or sometime tomorrow. It was supposed to be on right now, but they have to update the page. So the GRS Viper will also be available. But if you do want the GRS iiRcade Viper Switcher, I can't if I can type. Oh my God.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How many iiRcade machines are out in the wild, do you think?
There are about 4,000 of the original units, which is the one with the light-up marquee that's changing, the Pixelcade. And then the Dragon's Lair, there's probably under 300 in the wild.
So let's say 4,500-ish that are out there. That's not bad.
Yeah, right. And I'm going to pin this to the top. Let's pin that message. Boom. So I'm trying to keep up with everything, guys. I have a completely new mobile. Like I can just take this thing and turn. My whole desk here is completely mobile. So I'm trying this out. I'm trying to set stuff up for next week's show. It's going to be a really big show.
And all the wires at the back unplug, and then the show is officially over.
Which is probably going to happen. Now I got to move a little bit. So if I show you, I can show you guys. Let's see. If I go back to this one. Let's see. This one here.
Camera one. Camera two.
I got so many cameras.
Camera two.
Nope. There. So if I turn this over here a little bit, I have my Stream Deck. You can see this is my mobile platform. This whole thing will move, and I can take it
wires
around.
Holding everything.
Oh, they're everywhere. I am a total fire hazard. I'm like, I'll keep this thing out.
Thank goodness it's only about 5 volts going through there, so it's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm just testing a lot of things here, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a complete disaster next week. It very well could be.
We'll do our best.
We will do our best. So let's. I'm going to try and go look at the chat here too. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm sorry. One thing at a time. So let's go back to this. So this is what was released yesterday, and there were some people who gave some ideas, and I want to pull up what I found here. So this one was from. Let me see who picked this one. A Wiley Hansen, who's a very cool guy. He had a suggestion what it could be. And he might be right. Look at this. It could be,
yes.
New Wave Toys does make little things. They make a little 7-Up, or not 7-Up, 7-Eleven cup with little coins, right? They make a Zohar. They make all these other little figures. So maybe they want to relive going back to school, and that is going to turn into a small desk. What do you guys think?
Like
In the
I was
chat.
telling you before the show, it needs a little ink disc well thingy, or in the corner. That's what our desks were like.
So I think that was a really good guess. I mean, think about it. We think about when we were younger, maybe in elementary school, going to the arcade. Wouldn't it be nice to have one of these desks in your house?
Hobby Hands, it's Deskcade.
It is. It is. I think that's a great idea, and maybe he's right. We'll find out in about 7 days if that one's right. But that's a pretty cool. I like how that turned out. But there's other suggestions here. So there's another suggestion that came up from James Nelson. I don't know about this one, but that's what he was saying. What do you think, Stephen?
I don't know. Maybe. Where? I mean, it's just like a small part, really. I don't know. Could be. It'd be awfully big, fit in your house.
That's what she said. That's what she said. I don't. I think I kind of like.
Oh, for the record, I'm as in the dark as the chat, basically. So I don't
think I like
know
that one better.
too much inside scoop here. So I'm guessing like the rest of you.
Okay, so we have that, or we have that. I mean, that's
Papa Brad
could
Gaming
be.
elementary school desk hard pass.
I mean, if you think of the size of Shiloh, I mean, that would be something he could probably get on board with, that type of machine, right? That's one of the speculations, isn't it? That people think New Wave Toys might be jumping onto the larger scale, right?
It's a good guess. It's arcade related, not school related.
Right.
Yeah,
So that was another good suggestion. But I am going to get in trouble with Shiloh, because I am actually going to show you guys what this is. And he's probably going to be pissed, but I'm going to do
it. If he doesn't show up next week, we'll know why.
Right. So should I show you guys what this is going to be? Let's see. I was seeing in the chat if I should show what this really is. I know Michael B and P Dubs and because JR and Kongs and Russ were all guessing yesterday what it could be. They had some pretty good ideas. But I'm going to show you guys. I've been working with them for like a year. Actually,
everybody's like, do it. Hell yeah, go.
I've been working behind the scenes with Shiloh for a couple of years now. And this was a project that we were going to do, and it kind of got sidelined. But I'm going to show you what it's going to be. And once I do this, I guarantee you, Shiloh's going to be fucking pissed. But I'm going to do it. One. You know, Steven? Should I do this?
You're the drive off the cliff kind of guy. So go.
I am a driver. I've had a couple drinks already. So,
Thelma and Louise, go.
All right, here we go. I'm going to show you guys. This is what it is. So, if you guys watched Michael B last night, they weren't right. There's been speculation, even on. I'll go over here. Where is it? Even on. Let's try to pull this up over here. So many windows to pull up here.
1/6 scale 80s Pizza Hut playset. I'm sorry.
I can't find half my stuff anymore. I got so many things on here now.
A good one there.
Oops, where'd it go? No, I can't even pull up my browser because I can't find my browser on my thing. Oh, there it is. So even on Reddit, they were talking about this thing, and I'm gonna blow up the internet in a second when I see what this is. So they were guessing here, footstool. Someone said that.
How many posts are in that thread?
There's quite a. P-Dubs is actually in there. Look, it's right here. P-Dubs is right here. It's confusing for sure. I can't wait for the reveal. Well, P-Dubs, if you're in the chat now, I'm going to show you guys in like 2 seconds. I'm probably going to completely piss off New Wave Toys and totally ruin my partnership with them. But a fighting game deck is what some people are saying. A pin stubby, please. There was a couple things, but I'm going to tell you guys. Why not? Why not? You guys are good to me. I'll be good back. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys what this is my project with New Wave Toys. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, bam! It is a holder for your 1/6 scale machines. You can see you have the New Wave Toys you can put on top of this little desk, and the Build-A-Case will fit right on top of this small little desk. How cool is that?
You know what's going to happen, right? There's probably people driving to your house right now, and they're going to beat you up when you get outside.
Why? I'm telling you guys, I'm showing you guys right now, I'm totally risking my
Video game
NDA.
Vegas, bastard.
I'm totally going to get in trouble with Shiloh. He's probably not going to come on the show now. But this is what it is. It's going to be a small little desk, and the desk will open up. It's a hinge. You can open up the hinge. It's got felt inside, and you can put them inside and keep them. I don't have to put them in the bags. I'll put the desk in a bag. But this is, I think, it'll be pretty damn cool because you can keep them protected. You can take them out, put them on a little desk, and play them.
So JJ is actually driving to your house right now, and he's going to be waiting for you outside, and they're all going to beat you up, or have rocks in socks and just beat you over the head. Damn, dude, that's a good troll.
It's the truth. I can't even tell you guys the truth. You guys don't believe me?
I think there's some people that are pissed, and some people knew they saw you coming.
But I don't understand. This is it. It is the New Wave Toys mini desk for your 1/6 scale Replicates and Build-A-Case.
So it has one design flaw. It's on an angle, and your arcades are going to go right.
They will not, because New Wave Toys and my have
this
rubber
ultra
feet.
grip surface.
We have rubber feet on there, so it will not go. It will stay exactly where it is. But what's good about it is when it lifts up, there's a little spring, so it doesn't like fall. It like holds itself up, like those shocks on cars, that hold up your hood. So yeah. I think it's pretty damn good, and it's gonna go for like $99. I think that's a freaking fantastic price
for a holder. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I think so.
There's gold hinges or gold-plated hinges on them.
Yes,
or something. Sure, why not?
All right, now that I've totally ruined my relationship with Shiloh, take it off the screen here because he's
I think you ruined your relationship with half the community.
Well, I do see about 15 people dropped off the live stream. They're gone.
Yeah, we were at 60, but now we're at 5 or whatever.
All right, so
he's going to come.
It's a good idea.
In all seriousness, I think Shiloh is going to really unveil the real thing. So no trolling next week. Next week, no trolling.
That was it.
So
I'm telling you. Telling you right now, that was it.
I could just see it now. Glenn was in the room, and he goes, Shiloh, I got a pitched idea for you here. How about a holder? And he probably threw him out of the boardroom and said, "You're out of here." Well,
I will say once again, I don't. You know what? I got to be honest. I don't know how. It's like it seems like Friday was 2 seconds ago. It's weird. Go to work.
Week? Oh yeah.
I mean, I look so forward to Fridays. I need you guys now more than ever. I need you guys. And the week, my job. It's a very rewarding job. It is helping people, but man, it's also crazy and stressful. And I come with you guys the weekends, and I feel pretty great. So it seems like these Fridays kind of come. We're at 103 episodes right now, right? 103 episodes.
103. Me, like I said before, me and Glenn thought this was not a joke, but we're just doing it for fun. And what's that thing? Build it, and they shall come.
Build it. If you Build-A-Case it, they will come.
Okay, sure. Why not?
There we go. All right. So let's get back to what the actual topic of today's show is. We already burnt like half the show. We haven't got to
this thing called a Viper. I have no idea what it is.
Well, it's more so than that. So what I want to talk about today, I've been going through all of my groups and Reddit and on the internet, and a lot of people have been still confused about the GRS iiRcade control panel, Ultimate Control Panel, the Switcher, which is now available for pre-order, and the Viper. So first I want to say for people who purchased the second run of the GRS Ultimate Control Panels, they are shipping. When I say shipping, they're shipping from China to the States. So it's going to take a week or two from China to the States, but you should start receiving
Unless
emails.
They fall off the boat and go to the bottom of the ocean.
Please don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. But you should start receiving emails letting you know that these are starting to come on their way. But like right now we are, if I pull this up over here, my
Okay, so I'm gonna approach this a little bit from a layman's, never heard
layman.
before. So how much is the Viper itself and the adapter set, like cost wise, so that a person that just showed up today or whatever, we've been talking about the Viper, but you were saying there was a bit of speculation on the price and all that stuff. So we've got Jason that says $129. Is that $129 for the Viper?
No. Well, yes and no. It's always.
Or is that just for the switcher?
If you want to purchase just the Viper, because the Viper is an SBC like a Raspberry Pi, right?
On its own,
it has 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, so you can actually load the games directly on the Viper, or you can use an SD card, or you can use an external hard drive over USB. Bobby Vu, fantastic guy, has already built a couple of images for the Viper that are quite large, like a 2 terabyte hard drive. So you'd have to plug that into USB.
Oh wow, okay.
But if you want to put but if you want to put like a bunch of NES games on there, Sega Genesis arcade games, you can fit a right onboard 32 gigabyte on there. It'll support the GRS. It's got 2 gigabytes of RAM on it.
Onboard RAM, okay.
And it will support the GRS Sinden shotgun and the Sinden guns. You can plug them in; they'll work. That'll be $39.99
for the board.
That's for the just for the Viper.
So let's say $40 for the Viper itself.
Right.
With those specs. Okay.
Right.
Does it come with the power supply? Does it come with anything else, or it's just the board?
It should be. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be the board. It should come with a cooling fan. You will have to supply your own 5-volt power supply. Most people have.
What is it? USB-C or micro
USB-C? It is USB-C. But
it also all the hardcore technical.
That's okay. And you can also plug in 12 volts. So if you're going to a machine that has a 12-volt power supply, it will support 12 volts.
Knock it down.
Or 5 volts. So there's two different plugs. There's one for 12 volts. There's one for 5 volts. There's 2 plugs.
Okay, so you have to supply your own power supply, which is, I mean, they're everywhere.
How many?
What kind of amperage do you need on your power supply, roughly?
I would put at least a 2 amp. I would do a 2 amp.
So 2 amp, 5-volt power supply, $40, and whatever storage that you want above the 32 gigs, right?
Right.
All right.
Correct.
So $40.
And now when it comes to the GRS. The official name is the GRS iiRcade KVM system. That comes with the Viper. The Viper is included in the $129. So you get the Viper. It's bundled. You get the switcher board. You get an amplifier because we now take over the amplifier effects. Correct. Now, I'm going to tell you something else here that people kind of speculated at, but we never confirmed. I'm going to confirm it now. Again, this does come with the Viper. So you can plug this into your iiRcade, right, which I have back over here, and you can switch between the iiRcade and the Viper back and forth. But what if you don't want the iiRcade?
So you can use the stock board if you still want to.
Correct.
Or the Viper or whatever. Okay.
Correct. But what if I would have had some people saying that their iiRcade is dead, the motherboard's dead? So what if you can't use that? Or what if your iiRcade is fine, but you find that the Viper is not really what you want? It's included, you're going to get it anyway, but maybe you want something more powerful.
Like a Pi 5 or something, or
a Pi 5 or a Steam Deck, something along those lines. You can connect that, so you can switch between, let's say, a Steam Deck and the Viper, or maybe an Xbox 360 and the Viper.
That would be a waste to put a Steam Deck on that, but that's just
you could. It's just options. Whatever you want to connect to it, you can.
Okay, so
in theory.
Let me ask you again. I'm approaching this from a sort of techie guy, layman's that does. So to hook up, let's say you don't want the Viper. I mean, let's face it, you're getting the Viper bundled in, so it's a good deal. But let's say I say, okay, I want to hook up a Raspberry Pi 5. I've got one, blah blah blah, whatever. So how does it hook up? Does it HDMI or through the GPIO?
Correct.
Pins, or...
So the switcher board, which is the brain, the whole point of this, we've kind of over-engineered it. Because we figured if we're going to be doing this, I can get this off the screen so people can see their the other chats in here. Boom, there we go. We figured if we're going to design something for a company that's gone, it's a lot of investment to build this board. So this board and the iiRcade Ultimate Control Deck has a future still, even outside of iiRcade. So it could be on its
own in a sense or whatever.
Correct. So we're going to be doing many more things with it. So we designed it where it's basically 2 HDMI imports. It's got USB in and out on it. It's got power. It handles everything. So when you're going from HDMI 1, and let's say a Stream Deck is now on HDMI 1, and you have the iiRcade on 2, it'll handle the power switching, the audio switching, the USB switching, and the display. One button. Just press it. Everything's going to switch over. Right.
That's what you want from a person that's built MAME arcade cabinets and all that stuff, and you're switching between 2 different devices. The power, the inputs, everything on one, because usually it's 3 separate buttons normally when you do this stuff.
Right.
So
real quick, so
that's
take the quick question here from Take to the Time. You can get replacement displays, but since we're going to be you probably
over-engineered it.
Yeah, you probably have to replace the display on there. But it's a common connector.
What's the display on the back of the iiRcade? What is it? What type of?
It's a 19-inch. It's a 19-inch. I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but it's a 19-inch display. But they're readily available. You can still buy them. They're not like they were designed specifically
I meant
for the
hookup.
arcade.
Is it like a HDMI at the back?
No, it's the LV. Was the LVDS connector? The little cable connector that goes in there. But that could be done. Now, what I'm going to do is right now, because I don't want to be ignoring the people in the chat. So let's look in the chat. Let's look in the chat.
I was just trying to approach it to the whole.
Absolutely. I want to make sure I'm answering questions in here. Let's see what some questions we have in here. He's getting it to solid connect to a Atari 2600. Well, the flashbacks have HDMI out, so yeah, you could connect it. In fact, over here right now, I keep forgetting I'm wireless now. I can get up and walk around. So on the machine right here, this is the gold, right? So right now, if I hit escape, you can connect, computer, keyboard, and mouse, which I'm going to do on these USB ports because we have 4 on the gold. So I'm going to connect a keyboard, and I'm going to connect the mouse over here. Doesn't matter which port you use because they're all connected to the same one. All right. So right now, this is MAME running on a PC. I hit escape. So it connects here, hopefully. Beep, beep, beep. Am I connecting? Back and forth. Here's the iiRcade on this side. We got our games over here. Now, if I go back, I don't know why the keyboard's not working. It really should be. This is all tested out. I should have connected before.
That's why it's not
Of course. Let's see if I can do it on. Let's see if I can do it on the back of this side over here. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. So you can see it's running MAME. I can escape out of this. And you see it's a Windows PC right over here. So now you have your mouse. You can go over here. You can do whatever you want. You can run Atari Jaguar over here. Turn up your volume. Not that many people want to play Atari Jaguar on the iiRcade, but you could.
If it makes you sleep better at night.
Press S. And go over here and I'll load an image. Let's take what game do you want to put up here?
It's a Jaguar.
We got the Jaguar Defender 2000.
Sure, put Defender 2000.
There we go.
Doom. Did Doom come up?
Best version, yes, absolutely. And from which keys it is here. And you're playing some Atari Jaguar on your iiRcade. You press a button, and you're over here playing something on your iiRcade. Press it back, and you're back to your Atari Jaguar.
So it keeps the game going, or on the other side. So meaning if you do that, you'll crash and die, and it'll cycle.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're powering up 2 machines, basically.
Yes, and again, since you have USB ports in the front, you can connect. You can connect GRS Sinden Target Pro. You can plug in, like I said, a keyboard and mouse. You can plug in an Ikari Warriors joystick. That can all be done. You can do it with the Viper. You can do it with the PC. Whatever you want to connect, you can connect it to the machine. Boom.
Cool.
I'm trying to keep on
like
these
it.
questions here.
There hasn't been too many questions.
Direct
There's
questions?
a few. Yeah, they've just been watching you, press buttons.
Make a
and
fool of
stuff.
myself tonight? That's okay. I
That's
do
every
that sometimes.
Not
It
every
is.
night, but every Friday night, I should say.
Every Friday night.
So that's cool. No, I mean, like I said, Glenn and I do this show, but I don't have my nose in all the business, so to speak. So the Viper sounds pretty cool. Like for $40, you can't even buy a Pi for that much money nowadays with the shortage and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think a Raspberry Pi, when you're all said and done, in Canadian dollars, when you have a power supply in the whole 9 yards, like almost $150.
Right, and the performance of the Viper will probably be between a Pi 3 and a Pi 4, depending on the emulator. We're using a chipset. We're using a chipset that is lower power. It runs a little bit cooler, but it's got a good GPU in it. So as long as it's optimized for GPU, there's a like I said, we're putting Batacera on there, but R-Cade is another custom build that's optimized for the R-Cade chipset, which is what we use, and they get more performance out of it. And that's easy. You can put an SD card, you can load it on the machine, and play some games on it as well. Personally, if you're looking for cutting edge, like running Wii, GameCube, stuff like that, the Viper's probably not going to be for that. But my goal was cost and classic games. So like Dreamcast is probably the line. Like PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, maybe a couple PlayStation 2 games
will
run.
PlayStation 1?
It'll do PlayStation 1 easy. Yeah, PlayStation 1 will do no problem.
But anything above that in large leaps, it won't probably.
Right. It's even a couple of N64 games, depending on what they are, will run.
Okay.
But my goal with the Viper is really more the classic games. I want to play the older stuff. Now, the Viper is designed to be upgradable as well. It's a daughter board and a motherboard, so it's always upgradable.
Oh, you got a question, by the way, by 2Die4. Yep.
So 2Die4?
Plug in it. Yeah, right there. You had it. No, you had it.
Oh,
yeah, right there. So you can plug anything in that switch device, basically, or
yes, you can. You
not
can
anything, but anything decent.
As long as it has HDMI out and USB capable. Yes. When you switch it, you can have, like I said, you can have the iiRcade, you can have the Viper, you can have the iiRcade and an Xbox 360, or the Viper and a PS2. Whatever,
so it's two devices, basically.
It's two devices you'll be able to use on it.
There you go.
But yes, and
cool.
And we tried to make it as user friendly as possible, but unfortunately, just because of the design of what we're trying to do, and iiRcade being out of business, there's a lot of stuff we had to kind of guess at. So personally, I think it runs even better on the Gold, and that's good because the Gold doesn't have a way to easily add games to it. I know the team Encoder found a way to kind of do it with spoofing a server, but with the Viper switchboard in there, it works better. And what I mean by that is, on the legacy unit, which I'll go up and show you in a second, when you switch between the Viper or anything back to the iiRcade, they didn't properly implement the external HDMI. So sometimes the display you'll see goes in like this. It still plays. It just goes in.
Yeah, but they're using sort of a knockoff chip, probably, right?
Correct.
So...
Or they didn't pay the license fee. I'm sure they didn't pay the license fee for it. All you need to do is
I don't know anybody that does pay the license fee other than the big companies.
Big companies
make, they make Panasonic stuff, whatever, Sony and all those guys.
But if you do reboot the iiRcade, it'll come up perfectly fine. So I'm going to show you right now. So I know people that I've shown this before. I'm always very transparent, but people are still asking about it. So right now, this is running on the Viper. This is Mortal Kombat 1 on the Viper. If I go over here, I'm going to switch to the iiRcade, and this is what it does. You can see the screen. See these black borders on the side? Everything still works. It's just made a little bit smaller. Right. I can go back to the Viper. The Viper will always come up properly because we properly implemented the display. If I go back to the iiRcade, it's truncated. So you're going to have to, unfortunately, just do a shutdown and start up, and it'll come up fine. The Gold does not have that problem. The Gold, I can switch back and forth all I want, day and night, it'll come up properly because they fixed. I'm going to say it's a bug, a
issue.
software bug. It's unfortunate that they left that in this state, but they did. So if I go here, except full screen, and go back to Viper, switching everything over, game over for the game. If I go back to the R-Cade, you can see it's still full screen. So I just go turn the R-Cade back on here, and when this boots up, you'll see it will be proper. It doesn't do it every time, but to be quite honest, I'd say it's probably 95% of the time it will truncate it. Once it's truncated, it's going to stay that way until you reboot the R-Cade side. And you can see it's coming up already proper. That is just a bug. Maybe the mystery or team encoder could find out what that is and do a patch and fix it. But there's nothing we could do about it. We tried. But that's one thing that the gold unit does better in this situation because the HDMI is working properly over there.
Probably right in the firmware or something.
It is definitely the firmware. It's definitely something on the software side that we don't have access to. Now you can see right now I'm full screen. I'll go to the Viper. I'm full screen. Now I got a 50-50 chance. It could be full screen or it could be truncated. Let's find out. See, it's still full screen. So it worked. I'll go back to Viper. I'll go back. I'm going to bet you it's not going to be full screen anymore. And it's not. So that's just something, again, that we can't do. But here, every single time, it'll work perfectly, whether using Viper and iiRcade or something else.
Let me ask you a question, Glenn. Is there anything on the iiRcade that you can't do on the Viper, basically? Like, why would you plug that back?
No. In fact, the chipset...
You know what I mean? Like, you just take that damn thing out of there and use it with the Viper and end of story. You know what I mean?
The Viper chipset is more powerful than with the chipset that's in the original iiRcade.
No, but is there special games that are only on the iiRcade, or
there might be like a
handful?
Like maybe? I love Donut Dodo. Now I'm sure he could port it because it's a Linux machine. It can be ported.
Yeah.
But I know like something like that can't. Like Dragon's Lair you can play through Daphne. Install Daphne and you can play Dragon's Lair. That's fine. All the main games you can run.
Yeah, so basically, worst case scenario, if that screen ratio bug thing keeps getting on your nerves, yank out the iiRcade and use the cabinet, the monitor, the speakers, and the control panel, and put in your Viper with this thing, and then end of story.
Now, I never get it right. Rotundo. I am so sorry. I'm horrible. Richwell, thank you.
Richwell or something.
We've tried everything external. That it's nothing to do with that. It's something in the firmware. It doesn't reinitialize the HDMI port on the internal side. So when you come back, it's not telling the monitor to sync up and go out. It just throws out garbage. So it's something in the firmware. Now, someone like Team Mystery Encoder, I'm sure they can maybe fix something and do a patch.
But why bother? You just yank that damn board out of there, use the Viper, and
well, we don't want to do that.
Unless you want to use the
whole point of this project was that I wanted people to keep what they had, and you can. It does work. Yeah. It's just you have to reboot on the old. The gold people
losing their crap with the ratio thing. Let's say they're losing their minds.
Yeah, Bobby. I gotta say, it's to die for Bobby Vu. I want to thank him because if you go to his channel, first of all, please subscribe to his channel. He posted quite a lot of videos of all these things he's been testing on there. I can't thank him enough. He is such a friggin' good guy. When I meet him one day, he's getting a kiss from me. I'm telling you right now, Bob, you're going to get kissed. He did a beautiful build. I've been testing it for a long time. And basically, he had like a 2 terabyte drive. I don't know if it's bigger now or what. But he had a 2 terabyte drive loaded with everything under the sun. And you can just put that on USB. Plug into the Viper, tell it to use external storage. Boom. You have 2 terabytes, thousands and thousands of games on the Viper. You would never have to really, like I said, you won't have to go back to the iiRcade if you don't want to. But definitely check out Bobby Vu.
You're nostalgic for it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like if you're really, really like, I really want to keep this, sure, you know. But I think for me, being a stickler that I am, that ratio thing would drive me bonkers.
And yes, it is the R-Cade 3566 chipset. That is correct.
Yeah,
I would love to do an R-Cade 35. I would love to do a 3588, and that's planned for the future. but it's a huge cost. I was trying to keep the cost down as low as I can. And again, by making the switcher the way we did, if the Viper is not powerful, something you want to run, you can plug something else in and still do that. And then maybe use the Viper in something else. Maybe use the Viper in a different project. Is there a way to enable the headphone jack? Right now, the functionality is not going to be there. Will there be hacks in the future? I'm sure there will be. But the iiRcade, again, did some really weird stuff, implementing how it recognized when you plugged in the headphone jack, and we can't get hold of them. If they would have told us what code, if they could have said, Glenn, here's the code, it would have worked. We just don't know what code it was. Now, I want to add something else here. The switcher is firmware upgradable, right? So if there is a way to fix the headphone jack,
you can flash it.
We can flash it and make an update to the board. We're making sure now on all our products, we're going to do that. Now, originally we didn't do it because a lot of our stuff was stolen. My spinner, a couple of people were pirating the spinner, they were pirating the items. But we realized, you know what? It's going to happen no matter what you do. Even if you, like, it wasn't a firmware upgradable, my original spinners. But they still hacked it, they still stole it, and there's pirated versions of it. I think it's eStats is like the biggest one. They pirated a lot of the stuff. So we're just going to make it so you can do upgrades on all of them in the future. And it is pretty expensive. This whole setup, if it was like a 3588, would probably add another $100 to it. And I think that would have been
that much money, really.
I think it would have been to the point where people would have turned away from it. And I don't want people to turn away from it. I want people who have the iiRcade to get the Ultimate Control Panel, get the switcher, and keep their machines going. They can show their friends, look, this is what iiRcade used to look like, and they can show the games they got on it, and then switch over to Viper or whatever they install.
Could laugh and go back.
Oh no, I have to say
I'm joking.
I have to say honestly, it's next to the ACLU here, the At Games unit. The At Games unit and these are probably the best units I have. The only downside with the At Games Legends is, at least on the firmware I stopped at, which is quite old, after every like 5 times of using your own games, you got to log into the portal and reset it. And I didn't want to. I just might as well play something else. Right.
So let me see if I could predict some future here. So if this sells well and everything goes well, next year, the year after, whatever, there could be a Viper 2 with this faster chip. And then it should theoretically, if the engineers play their cards right and you make it where you take your SD card, swap it, pop it in, update whatever, and it's a straight swap into this KVM thing, right?
Right.
So that
the big thing,
just a quick upgrade is what I'm trying to say.
Right. The big thing about keeping the Viper inexpensive at $39.99 with the performance that it has, I'm hoping the community will embrace it. And people will be releasing different builds, different, front ends, different game packs, light gun packs, Ikari War joystick packs, Star Wars packs. That's what I want the Viper. I want the Viper to be almost like, it's so cheap. Like, I'll buy it and I'll throw it in this. I'll buy it and I'll throw it in that. That's what I want the Viper to be.
Used for it.
Right. And then
it's like
that's Viper 1. Right. And then we upgrade it to like the iiRcade 3588 or whatever the next chipset is. Now, then you have your
done.
Right. You have your. It's so cheap. Why not? And then this machine needs performance. I'm going to buy Viper 2, which it's actually already called Viper Venom. So it's the Viper, and then the Viper Venom is the
next generation
one, next generation one. Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So in a sense, where you're gonna look at it like a pie, because these mini computers are used for so many different things. You'll find a use for it somewhere,
Right. And I'm going to be honest. I've always been honest with you guys. This is what I would do if you really wanted to. If you did want a 3588, I would buy the Orange Pi 5. I bought an Orange Pi 5 for testing. It cost me $100. It's actually in one of my Build-A-Cades. I shoved an Orange Pi 5 with an R-Cade 3588 in one of my Build-A-Cades, and it was $100. I can't right now get that anywhere close to that price. Therefore, it doesn't make sense for me to do that. And I would tell you guys, buy an R-Cade 3588, put Batacera on there, And then you have a machine that blows away a Pi 5. Or maybe not blows it away, but it's definitely comparable or superior than a Pi 5, $400. But that would be something you guys can do outside of this. I still think the Viper, for the majority of what people want to play on it, is going to be more than adequate, and they're all set to go. But the option's there. You can always take the Viper, remove it, maybe put an orange Pi 5 in there, $100. And now you can play all the games that you really wanted, GameCube,
that or save your money for the Viper Venom. Or what was it called?
That'll work as well.
Save your cash and away you go. I mean, the Viper, is it out right now, the Viper? Yeah. Or is it coming?
I was hoping we got the website updated for the switcher board, and he forgot to put the Viper on there. So sometime tonight, because he should be waking up by now, my team in China, or tomorrow, the GRS Viper pre-order will be available. Both won't start shipping until July. So if you pre-order the KVM switcher or the Viper, they'll start shipping in July. And the holdup with the Viper, honestly, was the Sinden gun. The driver was completed, but there was a bug where, similar to the iiRcade, what's doing right now, when you launch the light gun game, the screen went bloop. It wasn't full screen.
Yeah,
so he fixed it. And we just have to do some art testing, and it'll be ready for July. So the Viper itself's been ready for quite some time, and I'm kind of saddened that it's taken this long to get it out, because I would have liked to have had it out for a while so people could start building, images for the Viper, so people could really download it. But I know Bobby's on top of it for sure. Cool. What OS does it use? Right now, it's running Batocera 3.9. That's the current that we install. It's installed. So would you plug it in?
Not the OS, is it? It's Linux based.
It's Linux based. But the good thing also about the Viper is you can literally plug it into your PC, and you can copy ROMs directly over. It sees the Viper as a USB storage device. You don't need to go over Wi-Fi. You don't need to go over LAN. You can plug Viper right into your PC, open it right up. You see the ROM directory. You can put the stuff right on there. And I think for a lot of people, it's the easiest thing to do if they're not very familiar with using, like, some type of I can't think of losing my mind to SBC software to connect to these devices. So that was a plus as well.
I got another question there. Will it work with Sinden light guns? According to Glenn, yes.
Who asked that question? I'll pull it up here.
Sean's Retro Arcade.
Find him up here.
Fourth chat in there at the bottom or whatever.
I don't know. I can't find it. What's
scroll to the bottom?
I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom.
Adam Calb, just above that.
That's what I see right. This is what I see above it than mine.
Okay, go up one. Go up more. About 4 more. John's Retro Arcade. Or do you need your glasses?
I must need my glasses. I don't see it. I see
right
Michael B.
Adam. Michael B. That's probably.
Oh, Mitchell B. Yeah. I need to get glasses. I really.
Oh, you went up way too high there. So, anyways, he was asking, will it work with the Sinden light guns?
Yeah, and that's what's been holding. That's what's been holding up the Viper releases. We have a partnership with Sinden. We have the GRS Target Pro, which is a partnership with Sinden. We had a driver made specific for us, and it works. It absolutely works. As long as you don't mind the screen going from this to that, it shrinks.
But that's been fixed now.
It's been fixed, but that's why we haven't released it yet. Yes, correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
But that's been fixed. So it'll work with our light gun. It'll work with the iiRcade. I'm sorry, the GRS. I have so many things. Ikari Warrior joystick. It'll work with the GRS Star Wars flight yoke. Our spinners. It's designed to work with all of our stuff. But of course, you have to set it up in the emulator to your liking. It may work. You may say 2 cents.
Question. There's a guy named Chris NXNW. Sorry, having to jump in and out. Missed some of the stream. The KVM comes with the Viper board, according to Glenn. Yes.
Yes, that is included.
$29.
Is included in the price.
I'm starting to know this stuff. I'll be an expert. I'll get commission.
Thank you, Stephen.
No, so basically, yeah, it looks like that's the case. So I've been asking Glenn. Now, I'm going to make a request for the next Viper, because I don't think this one has it. Put an M.2 slot on there if you can, to put these little very quick drives instead of an SD card, because SD cards tend to just die. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean
maybe down the road,
that would make sense. I mean, right now there
nice
are
cheap NVMe drive on there,
but there are M2 to USB adapters, USB 3.0. They're cheap.
That could
like
work.
$10.
Yeah, that could work as long as they mount and they're good.
Yep,
sure.
You plug it right in there.
No, that's good. But it wasn't built right on there, so you could, because you could pick up what a 1 terabyte drive for what is it, $75 Canadian or 50.
Actually, I got a Samsung, a nice Samsung 1 terabyte. I think I paid like $25. It was like
for an NVMe drive. Black Friday
it was like,
deals or whatever.
It was like an Amazon. It was a special deal. I'm like, this can't be, and I bought it, and it was, and I got it. It's pretty damn good.
So that's what I mean. These NVMe drives, these M.2 NVMe drives, are becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and they're super fast storage.
Oh, okay. So he's asking if he replaces the monitor with HDMI. The output of our switcher right now in this version is the LVDS, which is the direct to monitor port. It's not HDMI out. We did that because it was designed to connect to the monitor in the iiRcade. Now, in the future, we will probably have an option to just hook up to an external HDMI monitor. But in this one, the output is going to that LVDS connector. So no, it won't go directly to HDMI at this time. But in the future, probably. I did see that question.
Yeah, so we got about 5 minutes left in the show, but there's some good questions coming around. So
goofy foot, man, come on! I'm Italian, I'm German, and I'm half blind. I'm like, I can't.
And when they say they, so Rich,
I'm horrible. Rich Rodello. I'll eventually remember that. I will. It's funny.
Rich Raldo,
here's the funny part.
Even wrong
I used to be really good at that. I was a radio DJ. I was a live radio DJ for WHUD, WLNA radio here in Westchester, and I could do these type of things. Maybe I had a stroke. A stroke I don't know about, and I have a hard time pronouncing some names.
At our age, we tend to wonder if we had a stroke or not. You know what I mean? You tend to be like, well, my arm was feeling a little, a little, whatever.
And I will say, we're always looking to improve. And again, originally we were really trying. It's funny when we look back. You look back at videos. Again, I don't lie to you guys. You guys are my best buds, fans. And we originally were trying $50. That was the original plan. We were going to do a Viper and the switcher board for around $50. But then when we started getting involved and we started seeing all that was involved, we couldn't do it. And we're still doing this at bare minimum at $129. But
these guys got to eat too, Like, I mean,
well, it's not nice
to lower the price, but somebody's got to make a bit of money. I mean, let's face it.
But I feel bad that we were shooting for 50 and it went more. But there really was no way around it. We had to design, even though it's plexiglass, you have to have the holder. We had to develop this board and all the technology, the switching board. We had to include an amplifier. So you're not even using the amplifier in your iiRcade. Some people's had burned out. Okay, we'll include our own amp.
Think about it, Glenn.
I do have to justify it.
You buy a KVM switch for a computer, you're going to pay well over $300-400 for the damn thing. And a little single board computer, you're paying at least over $100 for a pie. So
I feel bad because I made a promise to the community, and I tried my darndest. My guys tried the hardest, and I really try hard to get things as low as possible.
You gotta be realistic too, right? In the end,
I guess that's my advantage. Is my team's got to deal with. I make the promises, and they got to make it happen. And they're like they just could not do it. They couldn't do it.
You're the salesman. You'll always give stuff away for free.
I do. Well, again, it's stuff I want to buy myself, and that's kind of all the products we have. All the products we have is stuff that I want, and this company's like, okay, well, we can sell that. I'm like, yes, people will buy it. And funny, in fact, if you guys have not seen it, this morning, Metal Jesus Rocks is working on upgrading his arcade cabinet. And he did a shout out to me. I did send him some items. Yep, I sent him some items.
Master Paul, wasn't it?
Yep, Drunken Master Paul and Metal Jesus Rocks. did a video, showcase some of my stuff. They're going to be doing more work in the future, but they wanted to. I sent them this stuff like a long time ago, and they said, Glenn, we want to just at least do a quick shout out to you today, and I really appreciated it. Now, he's got close to 1 million subs, and I'm right now we're like here, because we don't charge a lot, and we try to keep product going and selling and designing new things. We have some other projects in the pipeline, but we need to sell some things to get the money to start with the product. My guy's like,
sure.
He's like, Glenn, no more. We gotta sell some stuff before we start working on the next project. Like, oh, Dad, come on, man. I need this stuff. I need this stuff.
So that's up to you guys. If you for $129 you get a switcher and a single board computer. Hey, I think.
No, it's funny. No, it's funny. Bill saying this here. Back in the early 2000s, I worked in Armonk for a company called Millard. And Millard, we manufactured, before the Tough Book, we manufactured rugged magnesium-based computers. Actually, one of them went on the ISS. One of our machines actually on the International Space Station back in 2000. Wow. And our sales guy would freaking promise all this stuff. We're like, we can't do it. It's not even, we're not even close to doing what you're talking. You got to. I sold it. You got to make it happen. So we're all like, what the F, man? So I guess I'm doing the same thing, Bill. So I guess maybe he rubbed off on me.
Right, so guy got fired, and then here you're doing the same.
No, we did it. We actually had one of our machines. It was called a Scout. Okay, it was a 10-inch magnesium computer. It was designed so well. It was shown at trade shows in a dishwasher, with the dishwasher running on high all day long, with the machine actively working. Using, at the time, it was CDPD. It was over Verizon. It was a wireless, but it was called CDPD. Doing all that stuff in a wash machine, full blast, heavy load, heat, cold water, all day. We did that well before the Tough Book. But let me ask you a question, Stephen. Would you buy a product that's been out for years from Millard or a brand new product from Panasonic? What would you choose?
I don't know. Probably Panasonic, I'm guessing.
And that's exactly what happened. Everyone went to Panasonic. Exactly what happened.
I'm guessing, not trying to be biased, but that's essentially, I think, what's happening. So, dude, we're at the top of the hour. I've got to go take care of my wife because my wife didn't break her foot, but she has a hairline fracture on her foot.
What did you do to her, man?
I pushed her down the stairs. No. She fell down the stairs, but I was in the other room, so a ghost did my job for me. I don't know. I don't know what exactly happened. I have no idea. She was on the ground, and I brought her to the hospital. They did an X-ray. She didn't break a bone, but she has a fracture bone in her foot. So it's like, So in the end, I've got to go spend some time with her. She's on crutches and everything.
Well, Stephen, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to stand a little bit longer just to make sure I answer any of these questions for in the stream. So, Stephen, I appreciate you, buddy.
Everyone. Yeah, me too.
And
so we'll
remember, next week, don't be late next week.
Oh, God,
assuming Cheryl's not pissed off me at showing everyone the
secrets
new
of the trade.
Yep. As long as he's not mad about that, he'll be on next week.
Well, we'll mass produce it and make a toilet bench or something. So,
right.
Anyways,
we'll
see you guys later.
With the missus.
All righty. Have a good night, everyone.
We'll leave you here.
Bye-bye.
All right. So I'm going to stay on a little bit longer to make sure I answer any questions you guys had. I know I've kind of been over the map, but it's been a week. So let's see if you have any questions here that I may have missed. Oh, shit. You got 2 broken toes? What the hell did you do, man? Twisted Gaming! What's up, buddy? You guys, I know you guys already subscribed to his channel, but for the one person on my channel who's not, go to Twisted Gaming. Honorable person, honest reviews. Go check him out. He's a great guy. I'm serious. I'm totally serious. This is what it's going to be. It was my idea. When you're not having it on display, you don't want the dust on it. Open it up, put them in. It's got a nice felt around it, and you close it and keep it protected. That's what that's going to be. Stella's not going to be happy with me, but that's what it is. Awesome. He's got great content. Great content. That was a good couple of shows did with that there. You know what? I haven't had a chance. I had two projects at work this week. We had 2 new departments open up, and I haven't had a chance to do anything, to be quite honest. Tomorrow I got to actually try and trim my bushes outside because they're like growing out of control. And then Sunday's supposed to rain. I'm hoping I can catch up on some of those things there. That's my hope. There actually, yes. In fact, if you go on Thingiverse, and I actually did a video, I think I did a video on it. R-Cade Workshop. I commissioned him to make a case for the Viper. So it's 3D printed. But there are places you can take to a library and 3D print it. But you can 3D print a Viper case. So the answer is absolutely yes. It's got holes for airflow, holes for the reset button, holes for the firmware upgrade button, all on there. So yes. I gotta find them? Really? You gonna make me work for it, man? Jesus Christ. And actually, yes, because my wife, God rest her soul, she loved prickle bushes. So about 8 of the bushes I got to trim are prickle bushes, and I always get stuck, even with gloves. And I'm sitting there with a razor blade pulling out needles out of my fingers. It's a horrible thing. No, I don't actually own any flip-flops. I own black sneakers. That's my thing. With my black socks pulled up to my hips. I'm an old guy, right? Get those black socks pulled all the way up. That's me. Oh, damn. Oh, I mean, that was a God's work with a supercharger, but damn, man, I am sorry. That absolutely had to hurt. I actually kicked. I thought I was kicking a cardboard box, but it turned out it wasn't cardboard. It was literally like a APC. It's like 1,000 pounds, and I have no idea if I broke my foot. But I walked with a cane for about 1.5 years, and Jen kept trying to have me go to a doctor, and I never did. And it's healed now, I think, but it took like 1.5 years. I thought I was in bad shape with my toes there. Now I'm gonna try and go back. Video Game Vegas said he asked some questions here, and I'm gonna try and find them again. No glasses, so who knows if I'm actually gonna find them or not. Video Game Vegas, what's this here? Well, I do have the reasonable. I tried to have reasonable prices, so thank you with that. What are the questions you have right here? He said he asked me questions. Where are the questions? These are statements, man. These aren't questions, but I appreciate it. I'm surprised you didn't break the arcade 1-up, Brooklyn Menace. You must have brittle. You must have like brittle bone disease if an arcade 1-up broke your foot. In fact, I think I have like 3 more to sell. I do have my Tron. Let's see. Let's do the old rotation here. Here we go. Keep turning. Keep turning. So I do have this Tron. I'm only holding on to it because of a potential lawsuit. Who knows? I want proof, but that'll probably get sold at some point. And I do have the Star Wars unit right here, which is really Kongs or Russ and his Starcade build in there. And I have 2 more that I do have to sell off, but I'm going to sell them off. I don't want them. I don't need them. Don't care about them. Let them go. I honestly don't think Arcade 1-Up is really irrelevant anymore. People seem to still be going crazy for them, but their relevance is gone because they're not releasing anything new, and definitely not anything that people want. How many times do you release Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat? It's not for me anymore. It had a great run. but I'm definitely done with them. Let's see. The arcade has so many games, professionally vetted and played very well. I'll keep the functionality of the original board. Yeah, I know, and I know Video Game Vegas was a little concerned because he's got the gold unit, and he didn't want to remove the PCB from its housing in the top. He was just concerned about it, and I'm going to say here, I know a lot of people ask this as well. This is totally at your own risk. We do include a anti-static glove, which, you know, static is probably the biggest issue you potentially would have. But doing this could avoid your warranty, like you had one anymore. But this is done at your own risk. If something does break, unfortunately, I'm not responsible if it breaks. But I think most people can do it. And I do think that the gold unit is the easier one to do than the legacy. The legacy in the wood controller deck, it's just a little more of a pain to get out. There's more chance of breaking a capacitor, potentially, if you're not doing it carefully. The gold is actually much easier to do, in my opinion. Yeah, you're going to avoid your warranty. I'm sorry to say. It's sad. It's sad. R-Cade 1-Up, I do think so. It didn't have to be that way, though. You know, when you're the leader of the pack, they had the potential. The problem really with R-Cade 1-Up, even to this day, is they still have very cheap controls, cheap everything, but they're charging a premium price. And I think, for the most part, people realize that, and they don't buy them. They'll wait, and then they go on sale and go out. I admit, for someone who doesn't have the skills like myself, I don't have wood cutting skills. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't have the time or patience for the wood cutting skills. You buy the arcade cabinet and you modify it. They were not bad. I'm going to be honest. A lot of them were not bad. I had some fun with them, but they definitely had stupid decisions, like with the asteroids clicky spinner and some other things. They were just really questionable, stupid things. And obviously, I'm going to say it again. What they did to me, they go fuck themselves. Flat out. R-Cade 1-Up, I can't stand them. You can say no to me, but don't fuck me over. And they totally fucked me over. So it's after 9 o'clock, right? So yeah, fuck them. There we go. I got it out. I feel better. Now, I haven't finished playing this game, Jason. So I have to probably get back to that. I know the Papa Brad was going like ape shit on Printer's Quest. Hopefully he finished it, but I haven't played that game yet. Exactly. They never evolved, but they raised their prices. That evolved, and that's why I would never buy one of the products, because they took advantage of the community. But the community is not dumb, so much for them. Actually, Goofyfoot, you know what? If it wasn't for the shitty spinner, I probably wouldn't have gotten to the product line business, to be honest. That kind of started everything. And so I guess I owe that to R-Cade 1-Up, because if it wasn't for their crappy spinner in there, that wouldn't have come to the GRS version 1 Hall Effect spinner that now blossoms to all these other products. So I guess in every dog's crap, might be a diamond in there that he ate. And there we go. Good for that. Yeah, you know what? I really wish it didn't. I thought, and that's the problem. You never think that people are your friends, especially in business. Now, I will say PK, even Zhang, and definitely Shiloh, and I can't think of his name right now, but at the American Gear Company, sorry. They've been very good to me, and they've been honest, but really business is business. And when you deal with a company like R-Cade 1-Up, that's like a shady used car salesman dealership, I should have known better, but I really wanted to help them to build a better product to sell to you guys. And obviously, they really didn't care to give you guys a better product. They simply wanted to charge you guys more for a crappy product. And that's bothers me more than anything. It's just really sad, because it didn't have to go the way it did with them. And they really, on purpose, tank themselves. And I'll never go back. You can screw me over once, you can screw me over twice, and they screwed me over about 7 times, but there's no 8. And once I get to that point, fuck them. And that's my thing with them. They keep saying, I keep hearing all these YouTubers, Glenn, they want to make it right, they want to do this. I'm going to tell you guys right now, they offered me $10,000 when they stole my Tron stick. And I turned down $10,000. And if anyone wants proof, I have proof that they offered me $10,000 to shut me up about the Tron stick. And I said, no, I would rather work with you guys to improve the products. I will negate the $10,000 and just let me work with you guys. And instead they said, you know what? They told me to go fuck off. So that alone right there shows their mentality. And, you know, I could pocket 10 grand. I said, okay, I got $10,000. But I didn't care about the $10,000. Well, I do care about $10,000. It would have been nice. But that was not my thing with them. I wanted to build a better damn product for the community so people bought better stuff. And that would help them out, honestly. They would have sold more product. They make a better product. There's a saying, build a better mousetrap, people beat a path to your door. And instead, they kept down with the shitty stuff. They screwed me over. I turned down 10 grand doing the right thing to try and help the community and them out. And they still screwed me over by stealing my stuff. Go figure. Again, I'm not, if you can tell my prices now, I'm not in it for the money. That's the thing. People keep saying, oh, Glenn just says stuff. He's in it for the money. I'm not making anything. If anything, I'm losing money on this. But I'm hoping that my son, who's now 19, can look back and say his father made a difference. And that's kind of what I really want to do here. You know, I want to make a difference at some level and make people happy. That's what I want to do. And slowly I'm doing it. I would have liked to have done it with R-Cade 1-Up because I believed when that machine came out. I really did believe in the company. I believed in Scott. I believed in the vision. But they didn't really care. They were in it for the money. And that's what you have to look out for. Tastemakers was a toy company already. They didn't care about the community. They were putting out a toy product. We bought it and they're like, holy shit, we got a hit here. Let's make money as quick as we can, like a Teddy Ruxpin or laser tag. You know, it's a one-hit wonder. Let's make as much money on these people as we can and get out. They didn't care about the community. But fortunately, we do people in the community that do care. And that's the people we got to support. I know, right? That's okay. That's okay. And that's it. You know, this community is my family. This is not R-Cade 1-Up's family. They're here to make a buck. I've been here since the beginning. I'm going to be here till I drop. Most likely could happen any day. Who knows? That's why I tell you guys, always tell your family and friends you love them because tomorrow is never promised. I could be here today, gone tomorrow. But when I'm gone tomorrow, I'm hoping that people will say he was a good guy, he cared, and he did good things. And that means more to me than anything. I wish I was, because I could definitely use a new pair of shoes or a cheeseburger today instead of Tuesday. But I can tell you, my company, T-Sticks, they're not always happy with me because I drive the price down, and I don't make them very happy all the time. But you know, you can make money in 2 ways. You can make money by charging a lot and selling a little, or sell a lot and still make a little. Right now, we're selling the minimum and making little. I'm hoping with like Metal Jesus Rocks and other YouTubers out there promoting my stuff, it can go a long way. And I really thank you, Jen, for saying that. I appreciate that. I try to always be that way in all facets of my life. It doesn't always work out that way, but I do appreciate that. I think there are a lot of people out there, Jason, that are that way. The thing that we have to always remember is that the people who want to stir up the drama yell the loudest, right? Those people people who are content and happy usually sit back and don't want to get involved with the drama. Unfortunately, I've got caught up in drama a couple of times myself. It was unfortunate, but also necessary when it came to Arcade 1UP, because they had done so many things to me that you guys don't know, and I bit my tongue like a parent, like a battered woman or battered husband. I took it because I'm like, you know what? It'll get better. We'll improve things. We'll have a better understanding and go forward. But yet, Arcade 1UP every single time took advantage of me not coming forward with things that they did. They did a lot of things, and they know they did a lot of things, and that's why they shut up back in 2022 with the whole thing with the Facebook page. Because if I was to come forward, and I got proof, I got written proof, I got vocal proof, I have proof up the yin yang. If they want to go toe to toe, I can back up all my stuff. They can't back up their lies. So that's kind of why I'm taking the high ground once again. You know, I said back in 2022, I said, you know what? The community kind of saw what they were at. I got people would stand with Glenn. They defended me. I felt vindicated and gone. But when I hear people telling me, and other YouTubers telling me, Glenn, YouTube, Arcade 1UP wants to make it right. They want to reach out and make it right. First of all, they've never tried to make it right in the past. Regardless if it's new people, there's still old people there. And they never reached out to me once. If Arcade 1UP wanted to make it right, they would have reached out and talked to me, which they've never done since 2022. So to the YouTubers out there thinking that, Glenn, they want to make it right, they've never reached out. And I've told them they've reached out. And the times that they did, they lied. So that's where I am with that. How did we get into this Arcade 1UP trend? How did that happen? Man. What's this over here? Twisted, you have it. You got to put it together. You have the Twisted Ikari Warriors joystick. I want you this weekend, sit down. It's a box. You could do it in an hour. I want you to put that together, try it out, go over here and put on the 40th anniversary SNK pack right there, and you can play some Ikari Warriors. That's Twisted, man. Come on. You could do it. I know you could do it. Put it together. And dude, and you know what, you guys, you really don't have to send me anything. I don't need any super chats. You guys are my super chats. I appreciate you guys stick with me every week. I really do. I appreciate it. But maybe I'll buy a couple of bags of Doritos. I could do that. There we go. You see it there, folks. Bam. I know you're going to enjoy it. I mean, it's right there. And actually, you know, this is the thing too. I'm going to show you guys this again. I have one there, but hold on one second. I have the other one over here, which I like even better. Let's pull this bad boy out of the mothballs. So if you guys have the Ikari stick and you don't want to use my box because it's cardboard, and again, it's still really good cardboard, go over to 99 Lives Arcade and you can get one of these bad boys. And this is wood. You can get this with one joystick. You can get it with the two joysticks. You can get it with a trackball. You can get it with 6 buttons, 4 buttons. But this is from 99 Lives Arcade. This thing is wood. It's beautiful. Awesome work. And then you can take your Ikari gaming to the next level. But this thing, I love this. So this one's with the trackball. I also have one without a trackball. You can get the one with just the blue or with one just the red. But 99 Lives Arcade makes some really, really good stuff. And I'm really appreciative of him and his support of the products. Woo! Man. Boom. Over here. All right. All right. I've been rambling now for a long time. I had my Arcade 1UP rant. If you guys have any more questions, I'll answer them. If not, we'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And again, remember, if you guys are not a member of the official New Wave Toys fan page on Facebook, make sure you are. and join us next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Shiloh will be here. We're giving away a Berserk Frenzy Twin Pack and other items. He's bringing many, many more items to do in a giveaway. It's going to be an insane, insane show. I don't even know how I'm going to handle it, to be honest. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So with that, I'm going to say once again, I appreciate all you guys more than anything. Thank you so much for staying with me a little bit longer tonight. I want you guys to have a great weekend. Enjoy your family and friends. Make sure you take 1 minute to tell your family and friends that you love them. Tomorrow is never promised. But in between those times, remember to game on, everyone. I appreciate you. Have a good night. If I can find out how to end the channel tonight. Woo! Have a good night, folks. See you next week.
Game on.
Sit, Blue, sit. Good dog.